Hello everyone, good morning. So, to give you a heads up on the session that we are about to start, please invite all your friends, classmates, and family members who are looking in for this particular webinar on mastering in job interview calls, as in how to crack job interview. So, anyone who has graduated or looking for a good opportunity and need some tricks and tips on how to crack job interviews, please invite them to this free webinar. Apart from this, everyone who has joined, I would like you to have a pen and a paper with you so that anything that is important according to you, you can please note it down, and it will definitely be helpful for you when you have to go back and review what exactly was the content of this webinar. We will be starting in another 5 minutes, waiting for more participants to join. Thank you. Amar, I hope the trainer is there.
Yeah, he's joining within 2 minutes.
Okay, please check. So it is already 11 a.m. and yeah, Amar,
Yeah, trainer joining. So
trainer.
we'll start. Yeah.
All right. So good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. I am Siraj. I'm the senior manager, heading a vertical called ECAP, ExcelR's Career Assurance Program under ExcelR. So today we are here for a webinar that is on mastering technical interviews for IT graduates. And the specific topic for today is how to crack off-campus interviews. So everyone and anyone who is looking to get themselves onboarded for an IT job or have a career transition into IT and are looking for some technical tricks and tips where you can master the technical interviews for all prospects who wants to get into IT. Please make sure that you are tuned in, and apart from this, you have a pen and paper handy so that you can note down what all important points you feel will be helpful for you. All right. So once again, I welcome everyone who has joined this webinar, and we are also running live on YouTube. For so everyone who could not be a part of this meeting through Zoom link, we are also running live on YouTube. So your colleagues or your friends or your family members can also view us live on YouTube. So, guys, we are ExcelR and we were founded in 2014, and we were founded by the alumni of IIMs and ISB. So we have a great foundation, and right from 2014 till now, we have grown like a pioneer in the IT service and training providing segment. Apart from that, we don't just train, we also place our candidates to some very renowned companies, and we have a pool of around 2,700 companies with us, where we give 100% job interview call guarantee to the students who have been onboarded, who have taken courses with us. And apart from this, to give you a heads up on how many candidates we have, trained and what is the global reach, we have around 240,000 students whom we have trained globally. And we have our existence in Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, and Chennai. So you can definitely reach out to our offices, and we will definitely give you the best possible counseling and the best possible training when it comes to your career progression. To make you aware of what is the reach out to our colleges that we have in our pool. So let me tell you that we have around 750 colleges whom we have associated, and apart from this, we are globally present. All right. So this is one thing that you should be knowing. And apart from this, we are running multiple free of cost training sessions like this one. And this initiative is taken care by EDS, that is Everyday Learning Initiative, where we give free of cost training to all the faculties and the students who are generally looking in for some career progression and some extra training, a value added segment where you can add it in your resume as well. Okay. So, coming to the reach out and the placement opportunities that we provide, like I mentioned, we have around 2,700 plus companies. We definitely have in our pool all the mid caps, the small caps, and the large cap companies to shoot all the level of candidates and to make sure that all the candidates who are there with us are placed properly. All right. So it is not only the IT training that we provide. We are providing most valuable and most in-demand courses, that is data science, data analyst, business analyst, digital marketing, and also the skill development or the specialized course, that is AI, ML, then DevOps, Python, AWS, cloud computing, and so on. There are various courses that you can, according to your understanding, according to your profile, you can select. So it is not only the IT training that we provide. We provide you with a complete 360 career support as well. That is, after the training is over, before giving you a heads up on the placement opportunity that we have, we train you for the resume building, the LinkedIn profiling, the mocks. Then we give you training on how to crack your job interview. All right. Apart from this, it is made sure that each and every candidate who's about to go for the placement opportunities is trained well. All right. We have the aptitude sessions which are in line, the TPIP, that is called as the technical presentation and interview preparation sessions, which are threshold for every candidate that we provide. So it is not only the technical training that we provide, we complete the 360 career support, and only then we give you the placement opportunities, which is 100% unlimited interview call guarantee that we give. Right. So, coming to the session that we are running today, the webinar on mastering technical interviews for IT graduates, and the specialization is how to crack off-campus interviews. We have with us Rajmani Patel. Rajmani, you're there?
Yep.
Yeah. Hi, Rajmani. So, Rajmani is a senior software engineer who's currently working at Microsoft, and he has a threshold 10 years of experience. Rajmani has completed his BTech in IT, and apart from this, he has also completed his EPGP, a one-year EPGP program in AI and ML from Triple IT Bangalore. So Rajmani is currently working with Microsoft as a senior software engineer, and he is the best person who can guide you and give you a walkthrough on how to master the technical interviews and give you a proper, clear-cut perspective what interviewer will be looking into, and what his perspective or his point of view will be when it comes to the interview sessions, and what exactly you should prepare so that you can easily crack off campus interviews when it comes to the IT segment. All right. So I would like to hand over the session to Rajmani. So Rajmani, over to you, please.
Thank you so much for the introduction. And yeah, it was great explanation is what I can say. So yeah, let me my video. I hope I'm visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So all set, I think. Yeah. So okay. So let me present my screen. Second. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, thank you so much for the introduction. And then yeah, I mean, as the agenda states, so this session is gonna be how you can ace the off-campus interviews, basically, because most of us don't get on-campus opportunity. I mean, though syllabus remains same, but yeah, there are a lot of extra effort that you need to put when it comes to the off-campus interviews, right? So we'll talk about them. We'll talk about what is gonna be in detail as and when we go, right? So okay, let me introduce myself. I know you guys already have my introduction, but a few things that I would like to get more insight is, even I was the same like you guys, didn't get a campus placement and then came to Bangalore and looked for the job. So I know the pain and even the path to get to the off-campus placement. And you see my journey 10 years back, 10, 11 years back. In 2012, I was looking for a job, and now I am working as senior software engineer at Microsoft, and I'm leading the whole team here. So that's a kind of transition that I have done in my journey, work with different companies on different domains. So that's where my journey started. Work with HP initially, worked there for almost 2.5 years. moved to another company named Nokia. From there, I went to Symantec. From there to VMware and to Microsoft. So basically, you just need that dream to pursue, and that's the only thing that is needed. The other things, obviously, the dedication and hard work. There is no what I can say, no alternative to that. But that's the only thing that you need. So let's just get going. And for Q&A, I think we have reserved half an hour at the end. So that's how the session is gonna be, right, Amar? If
Yes, we'll take in last half an hour.
okay. So I would request all of you to just hold on yourself. We'll have half an hour, or in case we finish the content early, we'll reserve at least half an hour for your Q&As, right? Okay. So let's just get going. So here is the agenda that we are gonna discuss in the next 1.5 hour, right? So I mean, what are topics that you need to crack the interviews? Then what are different interview rounds of fresher faces in on-campus, off-campus interviews, right? How you should build your profile so that you get shortlisted, right? How you should apply so that your CV specifically gets shortlisted, right? And then what should you do once you are shortlisted, right? Because there are people I have seen who focus on most of the time that, okay, how I should get the interviews. But I mean, you should also focus that, okay, the day you get the interview call, what your approach should be. And then finally, we'll take any questions that you guys have, and I will try to answer them as best of my knowledge. Right. So let's just get started. Right. So these are in general topics that are needed to get to any of the off-campus or on-campus interviews, basically, because I mean the as I mentioned, syllabus remains same. But the only thing is here, the way you are getting call and the crowd that you will be facing is a little more than what I mean you face in on campus. Because in on campus, the thing is, you know that, okay, you're gonna compete with your friend, right? So I mean there are some pros and I mean cons to both of them, right? Because in on campus, you know most of the your fellow mates that, okay, he is good, he is topper of batch, so you sometimes get scared of that thing that, okay, if only two company comes, only the toppers will get placed. And while in on off campus, you don't know anyone, right, how he is performing. So the only thing that can help you is get best out of you, right? So let's just see what are different topics that are needed, and we'll deep down to the details of each and every topic and the expectation on the interviews, what all things are needed, right? So first and foremost thing, your aptitude and logical reasoning. Basically, that's very much important. And the thing that gets covered here is like your basic mathematics. How do you solve a situation? Your basic, I mean, logical thinking. Given a situation, how will you think on the things? Or I mean, your basic mathematics thing in general, right? Then communication skills, obviously. I mean, in communication skills, they try to judge you on certain parameters that, okay, tomorrow you may have to interact with your teammates, your clients. So what's your attitude there, and how will you take it forward, right? Then obviously any language of your choice. I mean, because you are working in software industry, so you should know any I mean, what sites interest you more. Maybe you might be coding in Java, Python, C#, I mean, or front-end technologies like Angular, React, JavaScript, or whatever it is, right? So all those things that will be needed to some extent of for the framework level. Maybe you should be able to write REST services at some point in time to get deeper on the project. So those are the things that are needed for language. I mean, any language of your choice. And then obviously data structures and algorithms, as we hear these terms a lot in day-to-day, talking, right? Because DSA is very important, and there are certain reasons why they are important, and we'll discuss that in details. Then database management system, obviously, you cannot live without DBMS. Operating system, I mean, there are multiple type of operating system, and when you are working for a large scale systems, you need to take care of every bits and pieces, how your code will behave with the operating system, what all things that are needed to take care. So all those things we'll discuss in details here. We'll discuss networking concepts, not discuss the networking concept, but we'll just discuss that what all things that are needed, right? And then obviously self-awareness is very important when you are going for the interviews. I mean, how you will take a situation, how you will behave to a certain situation, whether you are a team player, whether you can fit to the culture of the company, because every other company have different work culture. So these are the different topics based on which you will be judged during the interviews. Right, so let's just get a little deeper understanding of each and every topic here. Right. Okay, so first and foremost thing, as we discussed, aptitude test, right? So that's in most of the off-campus, that's the first round of interview. So when you apply, your profile gets shortlisted, they call you for the aptitude test in general, and that happens with most of the companies. So nowadays the things have changed. You are working from home, but still your first round is mostly aptitude test, where you will be judged on these parameters that are mentioned there. So first and foremost thing that they try to see is how, what's your general ability? Basically, with the simple mathematics, the topics like time and speed, percentage, probability, and all those things, you will face MCQs on these topics in general. Sometimes it's very hard that, okay, they ask you for the explanation, the complete explanation, but most of the time it's on your it's mostly on the MCQs. You will be given a question, four options, and then you may have to take the right option. So that's generally there. So do focus on there are multiple sites. There are I don't know now. I mean, it's been 10 years since I have passed the freshers interview, but we are still taking many of the interviews here and there. So we used to refer RS Agrawal most of the time for that. But yeah, obviously there are things that have evolved. So you can search for the resources. What can suit you better. But the topic remains same. I mean, these are the topics that you in general have to take. Then in the logical ability, they try to see, what's your in general thinking is. Maybe and how do you know the systems? Basically, they will give you questions on seating arrangements and blood relations. You might have solved them for any of the competitive exams, for the banking, or even in your college, or to get into institutions. So these are the kind of questions that comes in your logical ability thing. And then obviously few of the companies ask for your general English also, maybe synonyms, acronyms, or getting answers from the paragraph. So all those things you can find out your resources, take professional help who are trained to do those trainings, but be prepared on these topics, because you are very good at coding and all those things, DSA frameworks and everything, but in case you're not able to clear your first round itself, it's not going to help you, right? So from the freshers, these are the expectation in general in the first round. A few companies along with this also add MCQs on the technical things, maybe SQL queries, or C++ or Java, Python knowledge, but we'll discuss that a little later, right? So that's the expectation from aptitude test. Moving on, communication skills. So communication skills are very much important for all these companies, because in general, if you see, So what I can say, all these companies are dealing with MNCs, right? I mean, they have different clients across the geographical locations. And in case your communication is not so effective, I mean, it will be hard for you to communicate with them, you to communicate with your teammates. So communication skills are very much important. Now, communication skills doesn't mean that, okay, you should be very fluent with English, though nowadays the things have changed. Most of the college graduates are very good at English also. But otherwise, even if you are able to put your idea in the right term, you don't have to use the fancy words like Sasi Tharoor's use, right? But you can simply use the simple English, but be very, clear cut with what you want to communicate. So, and you should be good with sharing your thoughts in a group, is what they say, because you will be working in a team, right? And they don't want someone to feel left alone or not able to communicate their ideas to the teams, because it's never what I can say, standalone project, right? You will be dealing with your team, your leaders, and multiple people. So they want you to be very sure on those thoughts that you're putting across the table, right? Then also you should have a great listening ability, because there are few people who just want to imply their thoughts. They don't listen to others, and that's a very big red flag for any of the corporate, because then that person cannot be a team player, and that person cannot take the feedbacks positively, and that's not how the industry works. So they try to focus on this ability also, that, okay, you have the great listening ability. You're able to listen the things, deduce the outputs out of it, and then make notes or take them into the consideration, right? As simple as that. Now, when you are speaking, speak precisely and to the point, right? Because you should not, I have seen few of the interviews that, people, even if we are asking X, they will just touch X, but they will go to Y, Z, and all those stories, and they will not try to focus to the problems given in hand. And that's not how people expect it. So whenever you are speaking anything, just speak to the point, right? Then then comes the most important part of the things. I mean, your language choices here, I have just mentioned Java, Python, but there are more than 25 languages that people are in which people are writing codes nowadays. Pick any language of your choice, but with freshers in general, C++, and so now the reason why I'm telling 10 years back it was or, but now it became and, that, okay, with C++, you need to have understanding of either Java or Python. I mean, so you may be writing code in anything, but these are the primary languages that in general people follow, right? So most of the interviewers will be knowing all these languages, and then they prefer to take interviews in these languages. So that was my only intention. But if you like any other language, still okay. The only thing is you should be good with writing the syntactically correct code for on them, right? So those are the things that are there. Now, what you should focus on these OOPS concepts. On these language specific things. So first and foremost thing, read a little bit history about that language. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes interviewer is much more interested to know that, okay, whether you know about the language history or not. Then obviously OOPS concepts are very much important, because nowadays we are dealing with object-oriented programming only in general. So it's very important for you to be good with OOPS concepts, right? With the example. So you should not just tell that, okay, inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, and that's it. No. Have your own version of example ready with the code. So take some time, maybe 2, 3, 4 hours at some point in time, but write your own version of solution your version of answer on OOPS concept that, okay, in case I'm picking a school example, this is what will come in the encapsulation. This is what will come into the abstraction, right? Inheritance. So write all those things in a piece of paper so that you are able to memorize that, right? Then obviously object creation is very much important because most of the question revolves around that, including inheritance, that, okay, superset, subset, has a relationship and all those things, right? Then you obviously have strings and arrays. So that will be very much needed, right? If else switch statement, I am sure most of you will be knowing it. So this states that, okay, when it comes to decision making in the code, how will you write code for that? Obviously, loops are being used heavily in the industry, or you write any code, you must be knowing it. So it's like you need to iterate through a data set. How will you iterate effectively, right? Then comes the collection framework. So collection framework is something very important when you are going for any interview. So, and collection is Java, mostly Java related term. And these are the things that I am referring because I belong to Java background. I have some understanding in Python and C#, but yeah, but Java was my major one from the beginning itself. So I'm just taking the same example, but you all, all the languages have an alternative or similar kind of libraries available. So just refer to them. So basically, collection frameworks gives you flexibility to store the, objects to what you can say, to make them more performant, to use it whenever you need. So read a little more about collection frameworks because that's very much needed. Then comes the exception handling. So you must have read about exceptions, what they are, how they are. So just read about them that, okay, in case of unfavorable condition, how will you proceed with that? And then comes the threads. So threads are a little hard for freshers or the college graduates is what I have seen, right? But at least have the basic understanding of how the thread models and how thread starts their life cycle, at least difference between the thread class and runnable interface. So have these understanding. Now, majorly if you see, 50% of your interviews are actually based on all these things. And this is what is the most important round in your interviews, right? Because in case you're not very good with your core concepts, because you're going to write codes in any of the language, and code is ultimately thing that can get you going, right? So they want you to be a little more passionate about the coding. So try to write as much as code as you can, and then try to see that how much progress you are able to make them more performant. Go through the, so how you can do is you can basically start with any language. Try to get the what you can say. Try to get the syntax corrected for yourself, so that without even using IDE, in a piece of paper or in in the notepad, you are able to write the working code there. And then obviously, try to solve more and more problems in that. So just focus a little more on your core concepts, right? Then obviously, data structures and algorithms. Nowadays, the interviews have become a little fancy, right? Even the companies who are paying you, like who targets you for 3 LPA, 3.5 LPA, still they are focusing on data structures algorithm, which was not the case 10 years back or 12 years back. But nowadays they are focusing on data structures and algorithms. And I will tell you the reason why they are focusing. Because data structures and algorithm is something which is core of the programming. Now, you know Java today, but tomorrow their project might be in Python, right? So in case you have a great understanding of data structures and algorithms, you will be able to able to pick and choose the right framework for your solutions that you're putting. You will be able to identify the time and space complexity of the algorithm that you are writing, because nowadays when we solve a smaller problem, maybe pattern printing or any of the string or all those questions, in general, they are very short-lived and not much space time is needed for them. But think about how the Facebook is processing the data. They have billions of users. So if they need to iterate their data even twice in spite of once, right? It's 2x, and let's say one time iteration takes around 10 minutes, then two time iteration is 20 minutes, right? So that's a time gap we are talking about, because data is very huge, and with this COVID thing and all those new apps, video content creation, or any of podcast and all those things that have triggered the data generation very much, right? So that's when your time and space complexities are very much important to know. So focus a little more on data structures algorithms, and you should not go very deep on that. Obviously, in case you are going for companies like Microsoft, Google, obviously you need to go very deep on this. Maybe graph, DP, recurse, and backtracking, all of them are needed. But in general, in the off campuses for in general companies, these are the topics that are needed. So you should be good with searching algorithm, and searching algorithms are something like how do you search an element in the given array or string or all those things. How do you search? There are different kind of searching algorithm. Sorting algorithms is a little tricky one. You should know how to write codes. Generally, people write codes for selection sort, merge, insertion sort, but try to see if you can write code for merge sort or quick sort also. It's a simple recursive way. I know it's hard to understand sometimes, but you may need that to be good with DSA. They and analyze their time and space complexity, because most of the MCQs are based on the time and space complexities of this sorting algorithms. Then try to learn a little on linked list. I know most of you might have gone through that during your college days. So try to get through that. And then obviously binary trees, in case you can extend beyond linked list. Read a little about binary trees, their implementations, and then traversals and all those things, right? Then as SQL queries, obviously in the DBMS, because even during MCQs or the interviews, they do ask you to get a top 10 or highest salary, or putting some joins there. So do read about database queries there, right? Because when you are working in the actual industry, you have to get what you can say. You have to write the queries to connect with the databases. You need to process the records, store them. So try to get a little understanding of the SQL query. How do you write? Most importantly, apart from that, you need to be good with joins, because nowadays joins are very much focused in general. And then normalization is a favorite topic for many of the interviewers, is what I have seen. So try to focus on the normalization, how for a given data set, how will you select the primary key or candidate key and all those things. You should be very good and very precise with that, right? So just think from that perspective, make your notes as much as you can, because that will help you in the longer run. Before the interview, you can just revise them, right? Then comes the operating system. So it's not always the case, but most of the time what happens is, in case you're not good with Java, Python, or frameworks, and apart from that, most of the interviewers for the off campus of the college graduates, they believe that, okay, the interviewees should be good with the basics of what they have been taught in the college, right? And operating system and networking is, I mean, there are multiple others, but these two are the very favorite topics of many of the interviewers, is what I have seen, right? So focus on these, I mean, topics in the operating system also. Do read about them. There are different YouTube channels. There are different or the training institutes who provides you all these things handy. So do watch videos, do read books on them to get a little more understanding on the operating system concepts. And I mean, most importantly, at least I mean, have these topics covered in your notes before I mean, going for the interviews, right? So multiprocessor system, how they work and what they are, right? Bootstrap program, how an operating system loads. That's like, I mean, very favorite topic for many of the interviewers, right? Then process synchronization is very important part, and I know most of the, I mean, curriculum in the operating system covers this. So read a little more about them. Then inter-process communication, how do you save the thread states and all those things you should know, because in case you are good with these topics, there are high chances that, okay, you can drag the interviewers to these topics. And they generally, I mean, generally I'm taking, because if the person is working on that and he gets interested, he can grill you there, but that's that may be your unlucky day or something. But otherwise, I mean, you in case you are able to get good understanding of these concepts and you are able to get the interviewer moving to these topics, you can simply use that, I mean, 35 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever is needed for this, right? Threads versus process, very important topic, because I mean, there are various aspects to threads, processes. People gets into debate sometimes on this. So have a clear-cut understanding of threads and processes there. In job scheduling algorithms, I have even seen that in some MCQs also, people start asking you on the job scheduling algorithms. So just I mean, see what are different kind of job scheduling algorithms are there. How do you compute that? Okay, how many page hit, page faults will be there? How much time it will take to complete all those jobs? So that's a little on kind of mathematical computations. So and it's very easy. I mean, it's just a matter of 1 hour or 1.5 hours to read about different job scheduling algorithms. So just go and have the basic understandings of them, right? Then comes the computer networking, which is again a hot topic nowadays, because there are so many companies who are working on computer networking domain, right? And that's when they want you to know at least the basics of that, so that when you land up to work with the team, you are aware of the terminologies that they are using. So there are different type of networks, right? And so just go read about them. Network topology, how the different I mean, components in the network are connected. There are multiple, right? OSI reference model is something that I have seen being asked many a times with in different interviews. So just read a little about OSI models. There are 7 layers and of all of those things. Then HTTP and HTTPS protocol. So there are what all protocols, how they are different. So read a little about them, right? So I hope the things are going good. Maybe I can have thumbs up or something. I'm not sure if I'm doing good, if you guys are able to understand me. So, okay, great. Okay. So let's just move on. So, okay, this is one of my favorite topics during interviews for the, I mean, college graduates or campus graduates, right? Because I mean, I have seen many of the people struggling with these things. So along with tech, you should have a great understanding about yourself, how you can perform on the things, and then how you will behave in the system in case you are onboarded, right? So for that, I mean, you should know about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your hobbies. So the at least these three things you should hobbies you should include during your intro also. But otherwise, I have seen most of the HR interviews or managerial rounds are focused on this, and you will face at least one interview round focusing on these three things, right? Now, in these three things, you should not just copy it from anywhere and then answer it, right? You should be very particular about, I mean, and it should not be a very fancy, but what I have seen is people using words like procrastination and multiple others, which they are not even aware that, okay, what it is, what is it? And even if they are aware about what is it, still they are not able to articulate those things that, okay, this is why I feel that, okay, I get procrastinated and all those things. Or in case you say that, okay, I'm a great team leader, I mean, I never give up, or any of those things. So, I mean, pick and choose anything that you like there, but be ready with the follow-up question, be ready with the explanation that is needed for that. Because without that, I mean, in case you simply say that, okay, I am a great leader, and you are not showing your, what I can say, you're not showing your enthusiasm, or you're not ready with any of the real life example that, okay, this is where I have shown the strength that I have. It's of no use, because you interviewer will easily be able to make that you have just read it from the internet and then you're putting it across, right? So just be good with that. Then in the weakness, you should never say that, okay, I don't have a weakness, because nobody is perfect, right? So I have seen people telling that, okay, I don't have a weakness, but try to have something in your mind. Don't and there, people are not there to judge you, but they're just there to see how you are trying to overcome of that weakness, right? So it's not like that, okay, I have told that, okay, I procrastinate sometimes. So it's not a bad habit, right? But the only thing is, what is that you are doing to overcome that is what they are looking into. So when you mention something that, okay, this is my weakness, you should also be ready with the answer to that question that, okay, how you are trying to overcome of this, right? And then comes your hobbies, and I mean, this is one of the very interesting part. Even if you like sleeping, mention that, okay, I like sleeping. And I have seen people coming up with the questions like, okay, if your hobby is sleeping, what are different poses in which you can sleep, kind of thing, or what doctor suggests the best pose to sleep to relax your body. So whatever hobbies that you are mentioning, be ready with the follow-up questions. Like in case you follow cricket, I mean, which cricketer do you follow? Which team do you follow? Maybe the stats about the team that you follow. So that's what very much needed, and there is a reason for that. In case you say something that, okay, this is what I like, they want to know how much passionate you are to get understanding of that, right? So be ready with all those facts and states. At least you should be able to talk 2 to 3 minutes on those topics, right? Then comes news and tech, because this is a tech industry, and they want, I mean, everyone wants to hire someone who is very much aware of what is going around tech industry. So you should read some blogs, even if you're not reading some, at least two is what my suggestion will be. Read at least 2 blogs before you go for the interview. Any 2 blogs, they may be six month old or so, but be ready with your notes on those 2 tech blogs that, okay, this is what maybe, I mean, and you should not go with the flow like everyone is behind OpenAI and ChatGPT. So you just say ChatGPT and you don't know any of ChatGPT models, or what their implication is and all those things, right? So be ready with be ready with the supporting documents or supporting answer what you are mentioning there. So in case you are mentioning that, okay, I follow networking, so which networking blogs that you have read and what's your understanding of those blogs, all those questions you should be ready with, right? Then comes project and internship experiences, and this is what this is one of the deciding interview rounds is what I feel for most of us, right? Because you have spent it like 4.5 years, 4 years in your career, and then after that maybe you have started following up these programming skills a little before your college. So what is your achievements, what is that you have done in your those 4 years from projects or learning perspective, right? So this is you should pen down each and every detail of the project that you are working on, right? And then go and proceed to answer those questions. Now, whenever you are, let's say, doing a minor project or major project, which I'm sure is part of most of our curriculum, right? Try to be ready with the ER diagram of your things, different classes or different, first of all, different tables that you have used to store data for that project, different interfaces or different classes that you had, and their or in case you are writing the REST services, different endpoints that you had there. So you should be very focused on your projects, because that's the reflection of yourself, what how you so this is like getting your history when the IPL auction is going on. The people who are doing auction, they see the history of the person, right? That, okay, how he have played maybe first class cricket, previous matches and all those things. So the same way your minor and major projects define your past experiences, because you don't have a real-time project experience. So this is what they try to judge you, that, okay, this is how you are gonna behave in the given situation or in the projects. Now, I have seen people just mentioning that, okay, this is what I have done. This is what we have done. And when you say we, it involves a team, and in general, the college projects are in teams, right? So you should focus on you should focus on what was your role and contribution. This is what I was responsible to, and this is my contribution to that, is what you should be very much focused upon, right? Because they are judging you, not your team, right? So just be ready with all those kind of questions to follow, right? And then or in case you have done some internship, obviously that's an added advantage. But even if you have not done, doesn't matter much. But in case you have done the internship, you should always mention that, okay, in my internship, this is the project that I have done, and this was my role, and this is what my this is what I have achieved in that internship. Now comes another part of it, right? So when you have done some projects and some internship is okay, that was not totally under your control. But let's say nowadays the news or the resources are very much available. You should also decide few things for yourself. Don't be rigid on those things, but decide few things for yourself, that, okay, in case you are given a chance, which side are you gonna take, right? So which side are you gonna take? Whether you're gonna be a backend developer, you like front-end development, you like data sciences, you like AI/ML space, you like to be an automation testing person, or maybe on the DevOps side. So there are various fields that you can choose to be, right? And in case you are very much aware of that before going for the interviews, maybe you might have done some kind of trainings or some placement assistance or something where you get trained on these topics of your choice, that really helps you to get to the actual companies, because there they will feel that, okay, I don't have to get you, train you, and then you will start delivering. In case you have a clear vision, we can get you, and then you can deliver it from the next day itself, right? So that's very much important there. Now, apart from this, right, this is what I like to interview many of the people I have been part of. I mean, getting interviewed for the college graduates. I mean, mostly on campus for NIT Jamshedpur or this Vellore, VIT Vellore, or this Manipal. So the thing that I generally look for is to have the right attitude towards the situations and the problems, right? Because as a fresher, in case you let's say in case you don't have what you can say, the right skill sets at this point in time, but if you have a right attitude towards the situation and towards the problem, right, I can get you learning, and then you can start delivering. I mean, the things, maybe it may take you 3-4 extra months, right, to learn the tech and then start delivering. But in case you have right attitude, you will be able to learn. But rather than someone with, let's say, 80% knowledge on the tech, but he is not ready to listen to someone, or he don't have a right attitude to learn or change himself based on the situation, he will be at 80%, right? While the requirement is maybe 90-95% or 100% accuracy, right? But if, let's say, I get someone who is like 40-50% on tech, but he have a right skill, attitude to the things, to the situations, so he will be able to learn those tech in next 3-4 months and then get going, right? So you should have right attitude to learn things, new things, because the tech industry is changing so much. You see, every other day new tech is coming. You were hearing about ChatGPT, then there is Bing search, then there is Bard, then there are data sciences nobody heard earlier, but nowadays data science is booming so much. You have artificial intelligence and machine learning space, which is gaining so much things, right? So you should be flexible enough to learn the thing, and that's what is needed. I will tell you one story. So while I was giving interviews for Microsoft, all my 9 years of the career was in Java backend side. And here, when I'm leading their team for the Xbox gaming console and Windows App Store, so it's like the work is in C# technologies, mostly .NET, right? And also data engineering pipelines. So I have never worked on data engineering. I have never worked on C#, but still, they have hired me because of my right attitude to learn the thing. So you see, even after these many years, the judge you that, okay, whether you will be able to learn the things and then make the transition, right? Obviously, working with the group is very important, because you will be having a team, you will be interacting with different people in the team. So in case you don't have an attitude to work with the team, to listen to them, to get and the feel about the team, because every time you will not be correct, every time others will not be correct, right? You have some opinion, the other teammate have some opinion, and there will be classes of the opinions many of the times. But if you have the right attitude to resolve those conflicts, or to get to be in the mutual path, is what very much needed when the companies look for you. And then also to work under pressure, because sometimes tech industry is like that. You have high SLAs and all those things. So whether you have right attitude to just work under pressure. So all these things are very important when we are seeing when we see in the final rounds, or from the initial itself, we start judging the candidates based on these parameters, right? Okay, so now I'll take maybe 2-3 minutes of pause. So I will take a quick break, and then we'll be back in 2 minutes. I hope that should be okay, Amar, right? Okay, I will just be back in 1 minute, right? I'll just have a quick water break, then be back. Okay, let's just get started, right? So we'll move on. So till now, you have seen that, okay, what are different things that are needed to ace the off-campus interviews, right? So you have the in case you prepare notes and you have the understanding of all these things, you know that, okay, I mean, these are the things that are needed for us. Now let's move on to what are different kind of interview rounds that that occurs in the off-campus interviews. Mostly we have already talked about it, but let's just summarize them, right? So first and foremost thing is, I mean, first and foremost interview that we have talked about is aptitude test, right? Where basic mathematics and all those things will be there. That generally goes for, I mean, sometimes it's 30 minutes, sometimes it's 1 hour, or sometimes it's 90 minutes also, right? So, and that's totally an elimination round. And I mean, it's a clear cut, they will be having cutoff, and then whoever is above that cutoff will be called for the next round, right? And I mean, many of the companies prefer group discussions. So in the group discussions, you will be given few topics, right? Like, I mean, unemployment in India, or AIML, whether it's good or bad, uses of mobile, good or bad, work from home, hybrid works, I mean, good or bad. So all these things there, you will have to pick a side that, okay, I mean, you are going with the, I mean, for or against. Basically, you are this side or that side, right? You should not generally take both the sides. Try to stick in any one side. Have strong opinion about that. So there is nothing like right or wrong opinion, but they want to test your communication skills, whether you are able to work with the things or not, whether in case someone is trying to cut you, whether you are able to listen to them and then yeah, put the right right judgment according to that or not. So that's what is needed. So just pick a side and then go with the flow, right? Then many of the companies take online assessments also, because I mean, they try to judge your programming skills. So you will be given like 2 to 3 what I can say problems to solve in maybe 60 minutes or 90 minutes. Sometime it goes for 3 hours also, based on the problems. And in the online assessment, you may feel the questions from programming, where you will be expected to write the programs, or SQL queries, or sometimes this aptitude test and online test, they are combined, maybe for 1 hour aptitude test, and then for 2 hours, I mean, half an hour SQL, and then 1.5 hours for this your problem solving on I mean, coding test, right? So that's also there with most of the companies. So the base here is, you should be clear with all those concepts, or all those topics that we have discussed previously, and you'll not get stuck. So there can be some companies takes 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds also, but the idea is will revolve in and around that itself, right? Then comes, C, C++, Java, Python, programming specific MCQs also. Most of the companies combine in online assessment itself, right? Then technical round is very much important, as we have discussed that during technical interviews, you will be facing questions on the programming. The interviewer may ask you questions on Java concepts, Python, or whatever it is. And then they will also ask you to write code, explain that code, do dry run. So be ready with, those questions, and that will come only by practice. So do practice as much as you can, right? Obviously, focus on writing SQL queries also. That's equally important, right? Then comes your project related round. So as we have discussed for your project and internship related round, so be have your notes ready so that you are able to present your project to the interviewer. And then finally, it goes it goes with the behavioral round, or HR round is what they call it. So they will ask about your family, your background, your hobbies, or your strengths, weaknesses, or any of those sort of things that they cover in the behavioral or HR round. So, the rounds remain same. Few companies may take one online assessment combined with aptitude test, and then maybe two technical round and one HR round. Few companies may take one online assessment, one technical round, and one HR round. But it differs from company to company, and it's their policy. Don't get stressed because you are having more interview rounds. Don't get stressed out because your friend didn't had the same number of rounds for the same company, but you are having it. So it depends on the person to person, team to team, and the requirements also. So and you cannot do anything about it. So just go with the flow. The only thing that you can do is back yourself with the concepts that you are strong with, right? With the basics of the topics, right? Okay. Now comes how you should so till the time we were discussing that, okay, what is needed for once you get the interview calls, or what, this is like before you are ready to give interviews, right? So all those things you should be ready with. Now we will be discussing that, okay, what is needed to get the interview calls and how you should proceed with that, right? So first and foremost thing, obviously, you should have a great profile, because nowadays every other person is obviously there are lakhs and lakhs of engineers passing out every year, and then all of them will be applying for the same position. You see in the LinkedIn or Naukri.com, you put one job opening and there will be thousands or 10,000 or lakhs of applications that are going out there. So you need to stand apart from them, right? You need to understand the nerve of the need that particular job requirement is mentioning. So to get that, you should have a good profile in place in the first place, so that your profile gets shortlisted. Now, to do that, there are few very core things that you need to follow. So first thing is your resume building, right? So your resume should have is the reflection of yourself, right? So try to don't make it very fancy people are not able to read through it, but it's just looking at graphic designer's job, right? So have a little decency whenever you are building the resume. The things that you should include in the CV is your technical skills, and mention only those skills which you know, because most of the interviews I have seen that, okay, people will mention that, okay, I know Linux, Windows, or GitHub, and all those multi-threading, data structures, and all those things, all those fancy words. And then when it comes for the actual interview, you are not able to perform well, and then that's when you're not moving forward, right? Obviously, along with your technical skills, your key achievements should be highlighted, because when someone is shortlisting your CV, they will be looking at, okay, what you have achieved in the past, right? So that they will be able to relate. So it's again the same thing, that okay, what you have done in the past, so that we can project your career, that okay, this is how you will be doing. Then projects are very important part of it, right? In case you mentioned that okay, these are the projects I have done. In case you have done some open source projects, or you have some URLs to the work that you have done, is really helpful to validate that okay, you're not faking, you have actually done those works there, right? So yes, have the clear cut picture of the project that you have done. Describe it. Also describe your role on that, as we have discussed, right? Not just the project that okay, this was my project, that's okay, but what was your roles and achievements or responsibilities in that project is also very much important, right? Then comes certification. So in case you are doing some courses from any of the institutions or online or whatever it is, right? In case you have those you have achieved those credentials, those certifications, do mention them, because that reflects that okay, these are the things that you have done, and we don't have to train you on those things, right? Then nowadays, the next two topics are things are very much important nowadays. So many people are solving problems on lead code or code staffs. Earlier they used to be the practice platform, but nowadays they're still the practice platforms, but nowadays they have become more like validation of your coding skills, right? So in case you are solving all those lead code or geeks for geeks or code safe problems, right? And in case you have built something really strong, maybe you have solved 50, 100, 150 problems on any of these what you can say platforms, do mention that okay, this is what my star rating at CodeChef is, or this is what my lead code profile is, these many problems that I have solved there. So do mention that. Also, when you are solving the problem in lead code or geeks for geeks or anywhere, try to build your own GitHub repo, right? Try to upload those answers in your GitHub repo also, along with the projects that you have done. I'm sure that most of us don't do a very sensitive projects, for which in case the code gets leaks, we will be penalized, or will be under some loss or something. So if that's not very sensitive project, do upload that in your GitHub and mention that reference in your CV, so that and the recruiter can see all your work and then decide based on that, right? So these are the things that goes in your CV building. And obviously you need to build your LinkedIn profile, because that's the trendy nowadays. There are so many openings in the LinkedIn. Same thing goes there, basically summary of your skills that you need, the projects that you have done, open source contribution, or the references that you can mention. In case you can get some kind of recommendation from your professor or your fellow mates, do try to get the recommendations, right? Certificates you can attach there, and the coding profiles that we have discussed. So just mention them also there, right? So just be ready with all these things. Your LinkedIn profile and your CV, so that you get many of the calls, right? Now comes how you should apply to the job. So I'm not sure if you have heard of Naukri.com, but I'm sure most of you might have. InstaHire, many of you may not be knowing, but it's again a platform like Naukri.com, but InstaHire is more known for the you can say for the startup jobs. But as a college graduate, you should not be worried about getting into MNC or a startup. you should be equally good with both of them, right? And in case you get into a startup, that's a little beneficial is what I feel, because you have time and energy to put into, but your learning will be great, right? So do explore the platforms like Naukri or InstaHire. There are exams like MCAT or Elitmus. So Elitmus, I remember it was famous when we were searching job in back in 2012 also. And now also, I mean, they have evolved very much. They have many things tied up and all those things. So try to get the good Elitmus score and then go for it. Along with that, you should build great connections also. So in case you are staying in PG, or you know someone from other college or your neighborhood or whatever it is, right? If you both have the same aspiration, try to build those connections. More, I mean, don't feel that okay, they are our competitions. Rather, try to take a little stronger bond with them, because I mean that bond, in case that person is came to know that okay, this is the this is the opening that company X have, he can guide you also, that okay, he will inform you that okay, this is the opening, you can also apply. Never feel at least the person whom you know as competition, because the market is so open now, right? You never know how many people are applying there. So I know by not telling him you are reducing your one competition, but let's say 10,000 people are applying for a job, right? Just reducing one or two competitions out of it may not help you, right? So don't feel that okay, they are your direct competitions. I mean, take them along, because you will be discussing many things. He might have given interview somewhere. He will tell you his part of story that okay, these were the questions that were asked and this is how I have answered. So I mean that really helps you to get going on the on these kind of discussions and knowing about the company trends, right? Obviously, ask for referrals. So in case you have your LinkedIn connections who are working at specific companies, politely and humbly ask them for the referrals, that okay, in case you have some openings in your team or in your org or in your company anywhere, please do let me know. I am ready with all these things. But obviously, whenever you are asking for referrals or asking for any favor from anyone, remember two things. One, be very much humble. Don't poke them on every time that okay, I mean, why you have not done this? I have asked for referral, why you have not referred me, this and that. Be a little polite, right? Because it's not their day-to-day job. People do have their priorities, but in general, people are very helpful here. So they generally try to do that. In case they have not done, give them a gentle reminder kind of thing, but don't be in the commanding seat that, okay, why you have not done this, right? There are so many Telegram groups, Facebook groups that I have seen nowadays, who keeps on posting about the job openings that are there with various companies. Do join them, do check out them for the reasons, and then do participate in the discussions that you're having. In case you come to know, do post them, so that it's always give and take. It's not just take. No, there is a strong saying in the industry is like give back to the community, right? So you need to do that to make the community better, right? Then a very important thing is I mean, every company have their career section, right? You beat any company, small startup sometimes they don't have, but otherwise, even if the company have grown a little bit also, you will be having they will be having the career portal there. So apply through the career portal. But when you are applying, be ready with your cover letter, your skill set, a precise summary of your profile that, okay, this is what I know at this point in time, and this is how I can help the company grow, right? So be ready with your skill sets and all those things. when you are applying from via company portal, do put your work there, do put your LinkedIn profile there, upload proper CV, proper formatted CV there, right? And then there is another thing is like reach out via mails, right? So now let's say, I mean, this applies when you are asking for referrals also, you are mailing your CV to the recruiters also. In Naukri.com, when you see you have, I mean, different, what you can say, different HR's mail also mentioned many of the time is what I have seen. So in case you are reaching out to anyone, try to have these checks before you send mail. Very importantly, the subject should be precise enough, and what you are looking for, you should include in your subject that, okay, I'm looking for Java developer role, backend developer role, front-end developer role, data sciences role, or whatever it is, right? With this much experience. So these two things should be in your subject line. Always attach CV, right? And always have your signature in the mail. Basically, by signature, I'm not saying that, okay, you should sign and take the picture of it and attach it. No, you should have your signature, like your name, your email address, obviously your phone number, obviously, so that they don't have to open your CV and then see your phone number. In case they want to connect with you, they can simply see your signature at the end while you are writing thanks and regards, and then they're able to get that. Now in the mail body, right? In the mail body, please do include the skill sets that you have and the kind of roles that you can take up. And in case you know specific job codes or certain things, do mention that okay, this is the job code that I'm looking for. So in case you can refer me, or in case you can look, you can have a look in my profile for this particular job role, that will be much more precise, right? So just have that thing in your mind. Now, what you should do once your profile is shortlisted. And so there are so many people I have seen who get very excited when they get the call, or there are people who get very nervous when they get the call. So it's just the process have just started, right? You have not landed anywhere, but now you have more and more responsibility. So before going into this section, one thing that I would like to tell you is like many of the time we are focusing on how I should get the interview call from company X. We choose certain companies as the great MNCs. I'm just naming them, but there are lots and lots of companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Cognizant, and all of these, because most of the people, our relative, our college mates knows them, right? But there are so many companies out there who have equally and even better workspace, perks, and salaries, motivations to work for them, right? So don't think that, okay, I'm getting call from a smaller company who have, let's say 200, 300, or 500 employees only. Because I mean, even to reach to a 500 employee base, the company's turnover must be in a few hundred crores kind of thing, right? So just respect that, and also never get into this trap that, okay, I mean, I just want to work for TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Cognizant. No, there are so many companies out there who are doing really great in their space and better than this. Because if you land up to these companies, obviously they are great. I'm not denying the fact that, but there will be some kind of trainings, and then after the trainings, you never know that, okay, which path you are going to. I mean, they will they can train you in Java, and then they obviously have support projects, good development projects. They have shift works, so they can put you anywhere. But in case you are getting into some startups also, at least from the beginning itself, your rules and your work will be defined, right? So don't worry that, okay, I'm not getting calls from the bigger organization, I'm just getting calls from the smaller ones. No, I mean, each and every company is equally important, and they have their paths defined, right? So just respect that. And yeah, so we were here like once your profile gets shortlisted, I mean, basically just think it's another day. Try to pick what you have studied, like start revising everything that I mean, these are the things. Try to do more and more mock interviews with your friends, because I mean, mock interview always helps you, because most of the time you know the things, but you are not very articulative, or you will not be able to perform that during interviews, because you get nervous, or you have not memorized that, right? Not every time we can refer back to our notes, right? So in case you are doing mock interviews, or in case you don't have a friend who can take your mock interviews, follow this practice. Go in front of mirror, pick a scenario that, okay, let's say oops concept is asked to me in the interview. This is how I am answering. See your gestures, see your words, choices of your words. That could be one way. The other way could be, we all have I mean, camera enabled in our laptops or mobiles or whatever it is, right? Pick the scenario, record your video delivering those answers when you're telling that. See those recordings and see where you are getting stuck, right? It may so happen that, okay, after 2 minutes you're not getting anything, you get stuck, you're I mean, stammering on and all those things. So just try to see those videos again, try, so that you are very much prepared for the delivery during your actual interview, right? Then the next topic is next thing is get some connection from the company if possible, which is hardly a thing. I mean, not everyone is privileged, and not everyone is so much into it that, okay, we get the connections from that company. Maybe you have requested for some LinkedIn connections in that company, and but the person is not replying at all, they are not accepting your connection request. So I mean, in case you can get nothing like that, then try to have a mock interview with them. But in case you're not getting, doesn't matter, still all right, right? Then very important thing, research about the company, what they do, how they do, because your enthusiasm to the role and to the company is very much important when it comes for the tech interviews, right? During your HR or managerial rounds, for sure you're going to ask this question that, okay, what do you know about this company, and how this company can help you in the career. So always be ready with the things, even if you don't feel good about it. Just have your answer ready that, okay, I mean, these are the things that this company is doing, and that is very fascinating, and I feel that that's very challenging, and that can, I mean, this is my career aspiration, and this is where I want to go. So just have those things ready, right? Then comes know about their products and offerings. So basically, when you're including, just don't just say that, okay, I mean, I am your company is really great and I just want to work there. No, have few materialistic thing included in your answer. Maybe know what they, I mean, their products are, what they offer to the market, what unique problem that they solve, so that it portray you that, okay, you are very much interested in the role and in the company, and you will be a good fit, you are enthusiastic enough to get into the company, right? So do these research, right? And also be very much reachable to the recruiters, right? I have seen most of the people using different sim cards and all those things. They have I mean, multiple emails, right? And once you're logged in with one, you're not looking into other email, is what also the kind of situations that I have seen. So I mean, have one or two SIM cards. I mean, that's still okay. But what you are, I mean, the way of communication that you are using, be very much reachable to the recruiter. Don't get afraid that, okay, if I don't reply, this is what's going to happen. Don't prepare so much about the situation. Pick the call and see what they have for you, right? So the next thing is, have have patience. Things doesn't come overnight, right? I have seen people getting jobs in 1 month also, 1 year also, and 2 years also, right? But the only thing that is in your control is to do the hard work, to be good with the topics that we have discussed in the past, right? That's only under your control. The other thing is totally how it's gonna be. You cannot change it, right? So have patience. Don't bug recruiters so much, because in case they are not getting back to you, that means either you are not able to make to it, or they have not yet processed with the result of that, right? In the day they feel that okay, they are done, right, and they want to hire you, they will be behind you calling 10, 12, 15 times also, right? And that's what I have seen. My cousin brother, we were like, he have given some interview 2, 3 months back, and he was so frustrated with the thing that okay, things are not working out for me, this and that. But then he have given some interview, and he was following up for almost a month, that what happened to that interview, and whether I was able to make it or not. And then finally, at some weekend, we made a Ooty trip. We were traveling to Ooty, and obviously in the hills, we were not getting that much network and all. And then when we came back to the hotel, we saw that okay, there are more than 15, 20 calls from the recruiter, and the messages in the WhatsApp are floating around. So the day they are very certain about you, they will find their ways to reach out to you, right? So have patience. Don't call them every half an hour, 1 hour, that okay, what happened and what's not, right? So yeah, that's the thing that I had. From the interview perspective, that okay, the topics that are needed and the things which you should do. Just remember one thing, that learning never stops. You see my journey, I have started with same like the general public starts, came to Bangalore, look for the off-campus placement. It took around 3.5, 4 months for me to get to my first job, right? And that's when it started. But yeah, I started from HP with something, and then never stopped my learning. So went to Nokia, went to Symantec, went to VMware, right now at Microsoft. So you should not feel that the starting line may not be same for each and every one of you. But in case you have your aim defined, that okay, this is where I want to reach, you will reach there at some point in time. Maybe the time taken for you may be a little longer than others, right? But it's just your hard work and dedication that can get you there, nothing else. Taking those what you can say, taking those unnecessary thoughts in your mind that okay, I am not getting calls, or I am not able to make it to this particular interview. I was not able to perform. Is you're not going anywhere, right? The only thing that can get you moving is learn as much as you can, right? So yeah, with that, I am ending this presentation. We are moving to Q&A, whatever we have. Right. Amar, how do we take this?
Yeah, if anyone is having any question, you can either type it in the chat box, or you can please unmute yourself and ask the question directly to the trainer. Rajmani will take it up for any queries and any questions that you have. So if you can please type it in the chat box, any
हो गया अरे ओ फजिया फजी तू पड़े होता
Fazia, there is a lot of background noise. If you can please ask your question.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Myself, Chetan Patil here. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah,
Yes,
you are.
Chetan, go ahead.
Sir, I'm having a question that does DSA can get me a high paying job as a fresher, or will I have to work 2 or 3 years for that job? Like currently I'm in my last year, so
Hmm?
that's why I'm asking this question, sir.
Okay, got it. So obviously, DSA can certainly get you to the high-paying jobs.
Mhm.
But even if you're not getting that in the first attempt, don't worry about that. But yes, I mean, not only DSA, I mean, only DSA will not get you to the high-paying jobs. But along with DSA, you need to be good with the framework also. Maybe you should know that, okay, how to, write code in a certain language. Let's say you follow Java. So
Mhm.
how to write REST services in Java, right? How do you
Mhm.
structure it along with all the high level design, high level DSA concepts,
Okay.
right?
So I am having the second question related to for the first one. Like
Hmm?
which skills I have to acquire to get a good job in a companies like Amazon, Microsoft, or the Mang companies, or any other companies as a fresher?
Okay, so I mean, we have already discussed that DSA is something very important.
Yeah.
Then your language specific thing, and then your behavioral things, right? Your communication skills and all those things. If you have great understanding of all these things, you're
Mhm.
good to go. Nothing else is needed, right? But in case you want to highlight your profile to a big, because generally the biggest problem is our profile don't get shortlisted, right?
Yeah.
So in case you want to highlight that to something, uh, get some of the specialized courses or some of the specialized content, maybe data sciences or I mean backend developer or front end developer. Specialize yourself in that. Do some kind of open source work on those things so that your profile get a little more attention than others, right?
Okay. And sir, I also heard that ki DSA can get us up to 15 to 20 LPA as a fresher. Is that true?
Microsoft offers around 30 LPA to the freshers, so that's totally
On,
true, right?
like only for DSA experts, right? Yeah, other like other
So
expertise too.
it's no, to any expertise, to any
Okay.
expertise. If they are hiring anyone
Mhm.
to Microsoft or Google or Amazon, the generally the starting package is somewhere around 25 to 35 LPA.
Okay, and sir, like as a fresher, how can I directly apply to Microsoft if Microsoft is not coming in my college for the placement? So how can I apply off campus in Microsoft as a fresher?
Okay, so let's not make it to kind of Microsoft discussion, but yeah, Microsoft Engage, as their internship program, right? So in case you are good, obviously, in case you're not from great colleges, on campus is not there, so you may
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to participate with Microsoft Engage,
Mm-hmm.
and then look for the internship opportunity in the first place. And
Okay.
in case you are get through good, you will be there for
Mhm.
6 months for the internship, and in case they feel that you are doing justice to the role, they will convert you to the full-time employee.
Okay. Actually, sir, the thing is, due to Corona, I got admission in a not a good college. So that's why my last hope is only off-campus interviews. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm asking this question. Like,
Yeah, got it,
how can I
got
acquire
it.
the
So yeah,
companies like Amazon, Microsoft?
you can look for Microsoft Engage dashboards, right?
Okay, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Anyone else who
Thank you
would
so
like
much,
to
sir.
ask? Yeah. Thank you, Chetan. So anyone else who would like to ask questions? If you have, Rajmani, if you can please read the questions. We have a lot of questions from the chat box window.
Yeah, I have, yeah, 1 second, let me
Yeah.
just
And
scroll
apart from this,
through.
let me tell you that whatever we had during the start of the session, that we are running many more free online courses and like this webinar, we are activating and we are running full-fledged for all the students, all the prospects who are looking for a career transition. So coming up next will be from tomorrow is a 10-hour threshold training program on fundamentals of full stack development that we are starting from tomorrow. It will be a Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. program. So everyone who wants to be a part of this full stack development, which will give you a deep insight on fundamentals of full stack development. It is a 10 hours full fledged high end program delivered to you from industry experts. So you can be a part of it. invite your friends and colleagues or anyone who's interested for a full stack to give a heads up on their career. All right. And apart from this, Amar, I would like you to please share the training. Yes, correct. Training program registration link, and apart from this, the feedback form. So if anyone is looking in for a personalized one-on-one counseling related to any query or any transition phase that you want, if you have any questions or any counseling is needed, Amar, if you can please circulate that form wherein the career counseling and career guidance information can be provided to students. Every candidate who is available, right now we have around 250 candidates or 220 candidates onboarded right now. So if you want a career counseling one-on-one, you can please fill up the form. Our team expert will call you and they will give you the insight. All right. Yeah, Rajan, if you can please take up the question.
Sure. So I see a question from Nilofer that is system design is necessary to get placed in product-based companies. So for freshers, system design, I mean, or for college graduates, system design is not very much important about to get placed into product-based companies. But yes, you should have the basics understanding of what a cache is, what a queue is, right? A little more. I mean, because once and this I'm talking about when you are going for Microsoft, Google, and all these companies. But there are so many product-based companies in general. I mean, right? Mid-level product-based companies, or so there for the freshers, high-level design or system design may not be needed. But low-level design is also part of system design in general. So low-level design, you should have a little understanding of that. Basically, let's say someone tells you that, okay, you need to design different classes and use cases for parking lot or the small maybe book my show and all those things. You should have the basic understanding of them, how you will create the classes, the entities, and the relationship between them, right? So that is very much needed there, right? Okay, then I see the question from Nandini, that is GitHub profile mandatory? So I mean, it's not very much mandatory, I can say, but it's good to have kind of thing. Even if you don't have GitHub profile, still you are good to go. But in case you have a GitHub profile, that will, I mean, and then someone, this mostly comes into the picture when someone wants to hire you kind of thing. Let's say there are two candidates, one, I mean, and the company have just one opening. Then they sometimes try to see your GitHub profiles and then your open source work, that what you have done, and that becomes the difference creator sometimes, right? But otherwise, it's not very much, mandatory, right? Okay, so I see a question from Vishal that what is the best advice for the beginners who have just stepped into the first year? First and foremost thing, don't take so much tension, and just, I mean, college years are something that you don't live twice. So just enjoy those college days, make good friends, good relationship with your, your mates who are around you, your professors and everyone. But along with that, do focus on your learning. So what your core things are being taught to you, learn them. But along with that, you should focus on building the real-time applications, right? Rather than just getting the copy-pasted code or just solving the DSA, right? Because real-time applications gives you much more confidence than solving DSA. So try to build a pick any real-time project, pick any of the real-world problem that you're seeing, or even if you know that, okay, your library is totally digital, but in case you need to build it, right? Pick up the use cases that, okay, for card issuance or entry and exit and all those things, the book management, what all things that you can think that, okay, these things should be there. Go talk to the people that, okay, what all challenges that you are facing there. Come up with your own version of solution over the period of time. But to do that, you may need to go through the Java, Python, whatever framework that you like, to go through the resources on that, try to build those applications, pick the features, enhance them, and that way, in maybe 2-3 years, when once you are able to write those real-time applications, you will have so much of the confidence, right? And that's the same thing that have worked for me in general, right? So yeah, that's the thing.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are.
So I am having one more question that how much time will it take to acquire the specific skills like DSA or any other skills to get a good job in a good company?
Okay, how much time it takes? I mean, for you, maybe in general. So in case you are doing it, I mean, you are doing it along with your college, or how is it?
So actually, I'm doing with it with my college. I'm currently pursuing my last year.
Okay, so I mean, you have whole year right in front of
Yeah,
you. I mean,
yeah.
and that's a good enough time for you to acquire these things along with the real-time application that I have talked about. Right. So
Okay.
maybe 3.5 months to get your D. I mean, first you need to ask whether your programming skills are in place or not. In case you know the logic of the I mean, to solve the problem, are you comfortable to write the code for that? And
Okay.
in case you are at that stage that okay, I am good with switch case, a fail statement, collection framework, exceptions, and all those things. And now, if I know the logic, I will be able to write the code. In that case, I mean, maybe around 2.5, 3 months for your DSA, and
Okay.
then maybe another 1 month to get your basics clear on the programming perspective, maybe writing REST services and all those things. And then you again have like I mean 1 month for SQL queries or networking and OS concepts, and then around 6 months for building any real-time project, right?
Okay. And
So
sir, apart from SQL, DS, and operating, so
mhm.
which skills I have to acquire to get a like a job or something like that?
So
Apart from DS and OS and all.
you can acquire any of the skill set, any specific skill set. In case you want to be in the backend side, go for
Uh-huh.
and you like Java, then go for Spring Boot. In case you are in Python and want to be in the backend, go for Flask or anything, right? In case you are in I mean front end side, go for Angular, React, or whatever you feel like, right?
Okay.
In case you like both of them, you can go for the full stack also, learn both the things, right?
Okay.
In case you want to specialization in artificial intelligence, machine learning, just go read about them, do I mean build some regression models and all those things for on that
Mm-hmm.
side. In case you like data sciences, go for that. So take a week time to identify your hobby particularly, right? And
Okay.
once you are certain that okay, this is what I like, then you have around 6 months to pursue that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sir, can I apply while studying? Can I apply for a job while studying?
Yes. You can apply for the internship while you are studying, and
Okay.
there are so many companies who are open for the internship for the final
So
students, right?
Kendall, any other questions that you have, you can directly fill up the form, and there will be a one-on-one counseling. So Rajmani, there are other queries like
Yeah,
many students are asking, and address that too.
sure. Sure. So I'm taking this from Sparse. So it's like system design's importance. Obviously, system design is important, but for a college graduate, not that much. Just have basic understanding of the different components that system design have, right? And Java backend resources, there. I mean, you just type the Java backend resources, and you'll get it. Spring is very important once you know Java back. Uh, I mean, kind of core Java concept. So you can I mean, get it with ExcelR also. There are other open source resources in the YouTube, right? You can search for Spring Boot channel itself. So that there are YouTube channels which can guide you to go through the Spring Boot resources, right? Pick anything, just do a simple CRUD operation there. And once you are done with the CRUD operation along with the database, you're good to go. Then it's just your logic, how you want to flaunt it, right? Okay, so okay, Amar have anyway put the link. What we have covered before aptitude test. No, we were generally dealing with what are things that are needed. I mean, in aptitude test, nothing else.
So I hope all the major questions are asked. Any more questions? We will take up one more question if anyone wants to go unmute and ask. We will take up one more question before we conclude.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Nilofer Jahan.
Yeah,
Sir,
hi, Nilofer, please go ahead.
I heard that it is difficult to get job for freshers in cloud-related domain in Microsoft. Is it true, sir?
No, so what do you mean by cloud-related domains in general?
Like cloud partitioner, cloud
Hmm?
that
No,
roles. Yeah,
I mean,
in order
it's Go
in
ahead.
order to take my stand, I had completed
Absent లో ఏమేమి
certifications like
అడుగుతారో అడుగుదామా?
Microsoft DevOps Solutions and
అంటే
Azure
ఏ టాపిక్
Fundamentals.
అడుగుతారు?
I also done internship and build projects on Azure platform, sir. Is it difficult for me to get cloud domain in Microsoft if I apply for any role in?
No, so these things that you are talking about are the applications of those actually. So they go in the either cloud solution architect or in with the DevOps. But the Microsoft actually works on building these applications, right? So these two are totally different spaces. So we build the solutions here. We build those solutions that, okay, let's say you are using Key Vault or you are using service fabric cluster or app services. We build the infra here, right? So we'll not be actually doing using multiple offerings of Microsoft. I mean, obviously to host the service, all of them are needed. But I mean, the thing that you're talking about is more towards the cloud solution architect, right? Not in the development of that, right? This is what you're like hosting different services, how you should host, how you should put load balancer, I mean, different offerings of that. Getting, I mean, and that's like another job there. It's not like it's difficult or easy, right?
Okay.
Thank you, Nilofer, for your questions, and thank you, Rajni, for taking that. So we are on the verge of concluding this webinar, which was basically focused on mastering in technical interviews for IT graduates, specialization and how to crack off-campus interviews. So Rajmani, it was an amazing session from your side, and entire student fraternity who was there gained a lot of insight, deep insight, and based on the expertise and the talk that you have given, it will definitely, and I'm very much sure that it will definitely help all the aspirants to crack and get into a perfect IT job which they are looking for. So thank you very much on behalf of ExcelR. Rajani, I would like to extend my great thanks to your insight, to your time that you have given to this webinar.
Yep. Thank you so much for giving me this platform actually to extend the learnings that I had from my experience. So, yeah.
Definitely. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining, and stay tuned. We are starting from tomorrow a new segment that is fundamentals of full stack development, which will be from Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it is a threshold 10 hours training program, absolutely free for everyone. So do be a part of that training program and take the optimum benefit from the same. All right. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Rajmani.
Thank you, sir.
Amar. Thank you, participants. Thank you all. Bye bye. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.